As a college student with a busy schedule, I know how hard it is to avoid eating out a couple times a week, getting a frozen meal from H-E-B, or even eating chips for lunch in between classes when in a pinch. But how is this negatively affecting us without us realizing it, and how easy is it to make a couple changes? Processed foods are impossible to avoid in this country in this day and age, but recreating some of these processed foods at home with clean ingredients is not only quite simple, but actually enjoyable too. And your body will thank you in the long run. Today I'm going to talk to you about the appearance of processed foods, how to spot them, and a few ways to start cutting them out of your diet. In a journal by Obesity Reviews, Joseph C. Watso reveals that the average American diet consists of roughly 60% ultra-processed foods. Additionally, in an article about ultra-processed foods at the National Institutes of Health, Alison Brekovich informs us of the horrifying fact that the average 5-year-old American child's diet consists of 51% ultra-processed foods. So why are they so prevalent in our society? They're convenient. They take less time to put on the table, so if you've had a busy day, it's an easy out. Usually they're a lot cheaper and require little to no skill. We grew up eating them in public schools and we continue to eat them in college, and it's mostly what restaurants provide. Convenience stores, if you're on long trips or filling up your tank and need a snack, they really offer only ultra-processed foods. And lastly, the shelf life is a lot longer, not only in grocery stores, but also in your pantry. So if you don't like grocery shopping, it's really easy to bulk up on ultra-processed foods and have it last a long time. About a year ago, I was asked to go on a non-processed food diet for 2 weeks. And even though it seems pretty self-explanatory, and I thought I was doing a good job in the moment, it wasn't until about 5 months ago that I actually truly wrapped my head around what non-processed meant. So what is it? The NOVA system classifies food based on how much processing was done to it from its whole state to when it was sold and consumed. In a research comparison study done by Nutrition Bulletin, the health level of a food is ranked based on the NOVA classification, first level being the best for your body and fourth being the worst. As stated in an article by PubMed Central, the first level is unprocessed or minimally processed foods. Unprocessed would be your raw meats, raw vegetables, raw fruits, raw milk, eggs, and nuts. Minimally processed are foods still that are whole but slightly altered, so sliced mangoes, diced tomatoes, frozen fruits and vegetables. The second level is processed culinary ingredients. So these are foods we don't necessarily eat on their own, but we use within cooking. So flour, sugar, salt, oils, things like that. The third level is processed. So we can still identify the food in its whole state. It just has a couple, 2 or 3 ingredients added to it. So canned fruits, canned vegetables, pickled vegetables, cheeses, things like that. Fourth and final is ultra-processed foods. These are majority factory produced, and according to Public Health Nutrition, this category of foods are high energy dense, high in sugar, high in unhealthy fats and salts, and low in dietary fiber, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. So as they undergo this process, they lose a lot of their nutritional value. They also possess low satiety, meaning that even if you eat a full meal of unprocessed foods, you're left feeling still hungry or unsatisfied. In the long run, these foods can lead to obesity, diabetes, gastrointestinal disorders, even breast cancer, and so much more. Some examples of these foods are Pop-Tarts, cereal, frozen pizzas, fast food, sodas, candy, chips. So stocking your pantry and your kitchen with whole, unprocessed foods and working your way up to a meal from there is a great way to start cutting out processed foods from your diet. A good way to look for these foods are by reading ingredient labels. Avoid things like high fructose corn syrup, red 40, yellow 5, and if you want to hold yourself to a really high standard, you can do what my mom says. And if you can't pronounce something on the ingredient label, don't buy the food. She's been a physician's assistant for the last 12 years and has seen firsthand what a poor diet can do to an individual. This last year, one thing that I found is making sauces at home is a great way to take a bland plate of food into a restaurant quality, delicious meal at home. So first, chimichurri. Not only is it extremely nutritious, but also it develops flavor as it sits. It consists of red wine vinegar, olive oil, parsley, oregano, garlic, red pepper flakes, salt, and pepper. You can take a bowl of chicken, broccoli, and rice, and while it's normally a bland plate of food, it gains so much flavor once you just put a spoonful of chimichurri on top. What I've also done in the past is make a large amount of chimichurri, put it in mason jars, and gift it to loved ones. And I have never gotten a negative review when I've done that. Next is restaurant sauces. So Chick-fil-A sauce, Big Mac sauce, Cane's sauce, they are so caloric and pumped with chemicals that are actually banned in many countries outside the United States. But making them at home is actually so easy, and finding the recipes is really simple. So if you have social media, you've probably seen the famous Big Mac tacos. I can say firsthand, they taste exactly like a Big Mac and are so much higher in protein, lower in calories, and way less processed. Last is salad dressings. At the store, they have so many preservatives, but at home you can make it, keep it in your fridge, and add so much depth and flavor to your meals at home. Going cold turkey on processed food is nearly impossible, but becoming aware of what you're putting in your body is a great first step to cleaning up your diet. Everyone in America is a victim to ultra-processed foods, and talking about making a change is so much easier than actually making a change. Busy schedules leave little to no time for cooking and meal prepping, but if you're able to find that time to prioritize this aspect of your life, your body feels so much better now and so much better in the future. Fast foods surround us everywhere, processed foods surround us everywhere in America, and are hard to avoid at all stages of life. But like I said, making them at home is simple, and your body will thank you so much in the long run. So next time you're with friends and family, instead of going to a restaurant, try a new recipe. Make ice cream at home instead of going to an ice cream shop. It's a good way to bond. It's a good way to pick up a new hobby, all while bettering you and your future self. Thank you.